billion at the end of May this year, which is up from the $879 billion it was at 2006. I learned that from the Federal Reserve Bank online. So you want me to get a little bit more personal? How about this? In December 2007, the average American household held $9,840 in credit card debt. Morning, my name is Henry Johnson, and for the past 2 years, I've been getting more and more understanding about credit card debt and why it's not good under any circumstances. So by the time I'm finished talking today, you'll know the facts that I know now, and you leave here with wallets free of credit cards. So, according to HoffmanBrinker.com, in 1968, consumer credit debt was only at $8 billion. But now, in 2008, only 40 years later, it's over $900 billion. American Council on Education says that 43% of college freshmen own a credit card. Now, compare that to the 74% of fourth year and fifth year students. You see the rise? Credit card debt is an increasing problem in our economy that has not slowed down, and according to the statistics, it won't be slowing down anytime soon, unless we as the individuals and the consumers start to decrease ourselves and help to encourage others to stop. Credit cards pose the same threat as does any drug that a person can get addicted to. They're the same as any drug that we're exposed to without proper knowledge. And just like any other addiction, it's not only hurting the individual, but it's hurting the persons around them. Significant others, children, parents, and even friends. The Federal Reserve Bank noted that 40% of Americans spend more than they earn. 40%. That's nearly half the country that are spending more money and getting themselves deeper and deeper into debt. And credit cards, they don't pick and choose whose future they're going to ruin. They're greedy. They can get anybody they can. Seniors between the ages of 65 and 69 years old, presumably the new retirees, saw a 217% increase in debt from 1992 to 2001 alone. And as for us younger folk, the new college students, 76% of undergraduates are the owners of an average of $2,200 in credit card debt. It doesn't stop there. Surveys show that 51% of white families carry credit card debt with an average total of $4,381 off. 75% of Hispanic families have unpaid credit cards with an average of $3,691. And 84% of black families have cards with an average total of $2,950. So clearly all demographics are affected by the unorthodox jab that's delivered with the swipe of their Visas, their Discovers, MasterCards, and American Expresses. To add insult to injury, with the economy in its current position, 28% of those surveyed said it's becoming harder and harder to pay off their credit card balances, just as Javelin strategy and research. So what's my solution to the $962 billion credit card debt crisis? Just time. See, it's obvious that every single household can't win the lottery or successfully plant a money tree in their backyards, because trust me, I've been trying. So the only option that's fitting in my eyes is time and, of course, sacrifice. Okay, look, instead of going to the movies, why don't you catch an HBO special or break out one of the oldies but goodies out the movie case? Or instead of taking your significant other out to an extravagant restaurant, take the time to study a recipe and make dinner yourself for a fraction of the cost. Instead of getting in the car and driving down the coast, why don't you pull out the bicycles or the rollerblades out the garage and go cruising that way? With the money that you set aside from doing the small things, in time, it makes a large difference in you or your family's finances. Or you can elect to join the bandwagon with the masses of people who struggle daily with trying to keep their debt above water and also trying to provide at the same time. Nothing good can come of this. As I stated before, 40% of Americans spend more than they actually make. Are you in that bracket? How about you? How much money can you put aside for junior's college fund or for a rainy day if you've got every dime in line to pay off revolving debt? At money.cnn.com, it says people tend to spend 12 to 18% more when they make credit card purchases. That's 12 to 18% more. That's more money that you're going to spend years attempting to pay off. As a matter of fact, the very first credit card that could be used at multiple locations was the Diners Club card in 1950. And ever since then, the amount Americans owe that they didn't have has risen higher and higher and higher. You too were pulled into the whirlpool, and unless you get rid of those cards, you're just going to keep turning in that pool of debt. There is no law on how much credit card companies can charge for interest, and with the economy falling deeper and deeper into debt, the value of the American dollar constantly falling, one column writer on khou.com believes that things are destined to get worse. Major banks are already filing for bankruptcy and selling themselves. So as things deteriorate, companies will be forced to increase interest rates with no warning to get what they can get. And you don't want to be on the loser's end when the companies begin their hunt for $962 billion in revolving debt. The annoying phone calls from bill collectors trying to get any dime you have left, the constant flow of letters in the mail of companies demanding payment or else, and for some, the flow of spam email that they're getting reminding them of their payments. Credit cards keep linked on your card by manipulating your interest rates and adding monthly purchase charges even when you've made no purchases. They know that everyone isn't going to read their full contract, so to them it's a game. Have you ever been paying the minimum due on a card and for some time you still don't notice any significant change? Instead, imagine this. By doubling or tripling what you're paying now on credit cards, you're slicing out a huge portion of what would be interest. The more you pay now, the less you'll have to pay in the future. Where will you be in 5 years? Or how about 10? The less debt you have, the more money you can put aside for the things that you want. No one wants to spend the rest of eternity paying off credit card debt that they accumulated when they were 19 years old. Do the math. A person paying a minimum amount due on a $5,000 credit card with a modest 12.5% interest rate will be paying on that same card for about 23 years. Okay? But pay more now and soon you won't be paying at all. Not only will the knowledge of being debt-free relieve psychological stress, you'll notice the political effects too. What do I mean by that? Your credit rating. Go to Experian.com and you can watch it go up. So when you leave this room, start yourself on a path to a much more promising future of less stressful retirement. Reach into your purses and your wallets and get rid of those pesky troubles of credit card debt. Feel the freedom as you cut them up or watch them shred. Feel the empowerment of being part of something bigger than yourself. No one person can change your country's $962 billion worth of revolving debt. But each person that sees the freedom that you've gained financially since ridding yourself of debt will only be compelled to have that same freedom. You can make an impact on someone else who can then turn around and make an impact on someone else. Remember the saying, everything that glitters ain't gold. So leave here and go find your financial freedom in a world without credit cards. Thank you.